tortured wretches. We will die human." He had heard rumors, perhaps only legends, of a great human rebellion beyond the stars. They said that the heirs of Earth was a true fleet, an army of thousands, all human, that they commanded warships, that they led companies of marines. In the gulags and death cars, prisoners whispered of them, prayed to them. Tom and his men had no starships, no marines, no power to even leave this planet, let alone fight in great battles among the stars. There were 50 survivors, only half of them strong enough to fight. They were Earth's light, the rebels of this forsaken planet deep in hierarchy space. Here in the darkness there were no heirs of Earth with their shiny warships. Here it was only Tom and his people. Here they were the only hope of humanity. One rebel pushed a heavy communicator in a wheelbarrow. Tom caught his reflection in the black monitor. He looked no stronger than the men who followed him. Just another haggard soul, a dying wretch in a forest of death. Tom was only 40, but he looked a decade older. His hair had turned gray during this war. His cheeks were sunken, and deep grooves framed his mouth. His shoulders were broad but knobby. Only a few years ago he had been a shepherd on a grassy, peaceful world many light years from this place. His hair had been brown, his face smooth. What had happened to that joyous young man, full of life and dreams? That life had ended. The cosmos itself was ending. The hierarchy was spreading across the galaxy like a cancer. Humanity was fading. "Most die in the gulags," Tom thought. "Like my family died. Like millions died, like I almost died. But not us, not Earth's light. We will fight, we will die free, for a memory of Earth." They kept moving through the forest. The trunks closed in around them, so cluttered the cannons could barely roll through. Red sap bled from the bowls, sticky and hot, smearing the rebels with every step. Serpents coiled round the bone-white branches, tongues flicking, crimson eyes glaring. On the forest floor, vultures looked up from a mangy dead animal, its ribs tugged open, the last of its organs dangling like bloated leeches. The scavengers stared, silent, eyes following the humans as they trudged by. At the sight of the dead animal, at the sickly sweet stench of it, Tom's stomach growled. He was so hungry. Yet the carrion was rancid, swarming with maggots, and Tom had not forgotten the last disease that had swept through his camp, not forgotten the 8 warriors who had shivered, vomiting and shitting themselves to death in a cave. There would be food another day. Or there would be death. But there would be death in battle, not in a foul cave in a puddle of disease. Not in a gulag, not flayed and begging for death, not burning alive like his wife, like... Tom bit down hard. He tasted blood. It drowned the memories. He began to walk faster now, wheeling the cannon over roots and stones. The canopy was thick, the shadows deep, but his eyes were still sharp, his pace confident. He knew these woods, knew every hill and valley and snaking river of acidic water. For 1,714 days he had survived here. Perhaps today was his last. From ahead, a clattering. Tom froze. He reached for his pistol. Behind him, the other rebels raised their rifles. Silence. Nothing but the creaking trees, the caw of some distant vulture, a buzzing insect. Then from the distance, a scream. A human scream. Tom glanced at Nathaniel. Somebody escaped, somebody... A screech tore through the forest. A scorpion burst between the trees and leaped toward the rebels. Tom fired his pistol. The bullet hit the creature, barely denting its shell. The massive scorpion, twice his size, slammed into Tom and knocked him onto the ground. These were not like the scorpions from Earth, mythical creatures no larger than a man's palm. These were Skra Shen, intelligent, cruel, masters of the hierarchy, the creatures who had butchered Tom's family, who were butchering humans across the galaxy. The beast pinned him down, saliva dripping, sizzling, burning Tom's chest. "An escaped maggot," the scorpion hissed. "Are you ready to burn with your brothers?" Beside them, Nathaniel grunted and thrust an electric prod. A bolt slammed through the scorpion and into Tom. Both screamed. The arachnid fell. Tom rose to...